A 22-year-old with no lawyer, no company, and no money was staring down two of the biggest travel corporations in America. They wanted him shut down. They wanted $75,000 from him personally. His crime? Telling people a secret that airlines had known about for decades and never wanted them to find out. This is the story of the college kid who legally broke the airline industry's pricing model, got sued for it, and turned the lawsuit into the best marketing he ever had. In 2013, Akhtar Zaman was 20 years old, moving from New York to Seattle for a new job at Amazon. Booking the flight, he noticed something strange. A one-way ticket to Seattle, with a layover in San Francisco, was cheaper than a ticket that just went to San Francisco directly. Same seat, same flight. Less money. If you were willing to get off at the layover and never take the second leg. It wasn't a secret exactly. Frequent flyers had quietly used this trick for years. Airlines call it hidden city ticketing. They price flights based on competition and demand at each airport, not distance. So a route through a competitive hub can end up cheaper than a ticket that stops there and calls it done. Zaman didn't invent the loophole. He automated it. He grew up in Brooklyn, graduated with a computer science degree at 20, and landed that internship at Amazon. He built a website that scanned thousands of routes and surfaced these hidden city fares automatically, so anyone could find one in seconds, instead of digging through fare charts by hand. He called it skiplagged. The business model was simple, and it never touched the actual ticket sale. Skiplagged doesn't sell you the flight. It finds the deal, then sends you to book it through the airline or an official travel partner, and collects a commission for the referral. A few dollars, sometimes up to $35. Airlines hated it immediately. If enough passengers skip the last leg of a flight, airlines lose the ability to price routes the way they want. Seats fly empty that were sold as connections. Their entire pricing model depends on people actually completing their itineraries. There was a catch, though. Hidden city ticketing only works if you never check a bag, since it would end up at the final, unused destination. It only works one way. And if an airline catches you doing it repeatedly, they can strip your frequent flyer miles or ban your account entirely. By November 2014, United Airlines and Orbitz had seen enough. They filed a federal lawsuit against Zaman personally, accusing him of unfair competition and demanding $75,000 in what they called lost revenue. He was 22. He had no legal team. He had built the site as a side project while working a regular tech job. If you're not subscribed, do it now. This channel exists to expose the loopholes the system doesn't want you to see. Legal, verified, real. Zaman didn't back down, and he didn't stay quiet either. He posted about the lawsuit publicly and asked for help. Just $10,000 to cover legal fees. Within days, strangers had sent him more than $80,000. People who had been burned by airline pricing for years wanted to see this fight happen. United and Orbitz's entire case rested on one argument, that skiplagged was interfering with airline contracts by encouraging passengers to violate the fine print of their own tickets, the same contract of carriage that says you're not supposed to skip a leg of your itinerary. But Zaman wasn't a passenger. He wasn't buying tickets. He was just showing people information that was publicly available, prices any airline already published. In February 2015, Orbitz backed out first, settling quietly. Neither side admitted wrongdoing. United kept going alone. But in May, a judge in Chicago threw the case out, not because United was wrong about the pricing trick, but because the court didn't even have jurisdiction. Skiplagged operated out of New York. United had sued in Illinois. United chose not to refile anywhere else. Zaman put the whole story on his own homepage. "We're so good, United Airlines actually sued us for it." For most founders, that would be the end of the story. It wasn't. A decade later, Skiplagged was no longer a side project. It had grown into a real company with a real office in Manhattan, and according to Fast Company, it pulled in more than $23 million in a single recent year, almost entirely from those small referral commissions multiplied across hundreds of thousands of travelers. Then, in 2024, a different airline caught up with him. American Airlines sued Skiplagged again, this time not over the hidden city trick itself, but over something much smaller. The company had been displaying American's logo on its site without a license. This time, American won on copyright. A jury ordered Skiplagged to pay $9.4 million for using the airline's logo without permission. But American actually lost 3 other claims in the same trial, including the one over trademark. The penalty applied narrowly to the logo, not to the hidden city practice itself. Zaman didn't dispute it. He called it an honest mistake, said Skiplagged had quietly stopped showing the logo more than a year earlier, and pointed out that the actual practice, the hidden city fairs themselves, was never found illegal. Not once in over a decade of fighting. The business kept running exactly as before. Today, Skiplagged says its users have saved tens of millions of dollars a year through hidden city bookings, with an average discount of around $180 per flight. The company Zaman started as a 20-year-old intern is still operating out of New York, still finding the same loophole in airline pricing, and still collecting a small commission every time someone uses it. Here's what I find interesting about this one. Airlines built a pricing system so complicated that even they couldn't fully predict when it would work against them. They priced routes by competition instead of distance, assuming most travelers would never notice the gap, or wouldn't bother exploiting it even if they did. One person built a tool that noticed it automatically every single day for everyone. They sued him for that. Twice, really, if you count the more recent case. And in the fight that actually mattered, the one over whether the loophole itself was legal, they never won. There's always another crack somewhere, waiting to be found. Next week on this channel, we go looking for it. Subscribe so you don't miss it. And tell me in the comments, if an airline prices a connecting flight cheaper than a direct one, whose mistake is that really? I read every single one.